Hey everybody, I've decided to make Monday my new home. Because of technical difficulties with the day of the week that I take off from work, I've decided to swap my Wednesdays for Mondays, which are much better for me to do reviews on. So thanks for being understanding. I'm still working on Dracula, which I've just started reading again. I took a little break to finish a book that was recommended to me by someone, but I'm getting through it. This week I'm going to review one of my personal favorites, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I read this book in high school, and I was told by a teacher that assigned it that if I was a fan of Wuthering Heights by Charlotte's sister, Emily Bronte, I was not going to like Jane Eyre. And the reason she gave me was because the sisters had completely different writing styles, and people never liked both of them. Well, I really liked Wuthering Heights, and I really like Jane Eyre. It's possibly on my top 10 list of my favorite novels of all time. One of the main reasons I really like Jane Eyre is because Mr. Rochester is like the perfect romantic hero. He's all strong and just like marches into scenes, and frankly he does battle with Mr. Darcy as my top favorite fictional men. Also because I find that Jane Eyre is not so much a chick book as Pride and Prejudice. It's got some dark elements, and you've got that big dark secret that is revealed in the middle of the novel. I feel like that kind of allows for more of a male audience than Jane Austen books. It's not as dark as Wuthering Heights, but it's kind of there. One of the things I didn't like about the novel, though, is there's a part where after Jane has met Mr. Rochester and this deep dark secret is revealed, Jane leaves and goes to another town and miraculously meets her cousins, which is, you know, always part of these books. But that whole segment when she's in that other town I found incredibly boring, because at this point, like, you get through the surprise twist in the novel's plot, and I just wanted it to be resolved. It was kind of like, surprise, and then she leaves. And I was reading not so much at that point because I was enjoying it and it was really intriguing as the parts before that, but so I could get through it and get to the end and find out what happens. I can tell you also, the ending left me very satisfied. Also, Jane, the main character, she's kind of like a plain Jane sort of character. She's kind of ugly, even though, I mean, the chick on the cover, if that's Jane, like, look, she's kind of hot. I don't think she's ugly, but whatever. In the novel, she's supposed to be ugly, and Mr. Rochester picks her over this, like, beautiful other woman. But I like that, because all women, I think, no matter how self-confident they are, feel like they have flaws that keep them from being the perfect ideal woman, and Jane being so plain makes it easy for me to relate to her, and easier to fantasize myself with Mr. Rochester. I also like that the novel follows other novel types of the time, where it goes from her birth until the end of her story. A lot of people don't like that format, but I found it quite nice for this story. Because Jane is such a fascinating woman, and kind of my hero a little bit, so I liked learning about her whole life. I know at least in my English classes that focus on romantic or Victorian times, we talk about Jane Eyre a lot, as well as Jane Austen and the like. So I would recommend that people in high school read this book. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, I would say, under 9th or 10th grade, I really would recommend it for high school students, mostly because it's could be really boring for anyone younger than that. I know that I wouldn't be interested in reading this at all. I actually got it for Christmas when I was in 6th grade, and it sat on my shelf until it was assigned to me in 11th grade. And I'm glad that that happened because I wouldn't have read it. Okay, so that's all I have to say on Jane Eyre. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week on Mondays. Bye. P.S. Those of you who read Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre, answer in comments, which one do you like better? Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre.